It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad.
Menu narration option is set to off. Menu narration option is set to off.
48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
A good run on first down. It's got him very close to the line to gain, just shy of the 35. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's third down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. With a catch made by Hopkins. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. He was no doubt a key piece to their puzzle in that victory.
And when this offense plays well, you just know he's going to be in the middle of everything, don't you? I mean, defense is going to say, we've got to take this guy away. He doesn't allow himself to be taken away, does he?
Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
On first down, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively. Because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Ito Smith, and tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Throwing on third down, Watson. And that will be incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a third down. Winston from the gun on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. The tackle made that time by Bryce Callahan.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On third down, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And they work this out past the 25. The end result, 21 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A first down carry for Smith. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Let them know, let them know. 25. Twitch. Watch the twitch. Kill. 25.
On first down, Smith. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Watson on first down. They'll set up the screen to Smith. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Rush in.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Now Watson. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
Well, that takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does he?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long. It's Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Reset. 18. 45. I got. Check.
Smith trying to run for it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Ito Smith. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Winston now. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Finds the open target, Arnold. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Jameis to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we have reached, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
We got this.
And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with...
He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Smith. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Watson throwing on 3rd and long. He's going to take a shot for the... And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Winston, throw left side, complete to Moss. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Moss, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 41, Watson. He's got Fuller. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
Big series right here. We got 24. He's coming. We got double up. Small.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll try and run for it with Smith. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
40%, 19, 45. All day, baby, all day. What do you want? Hey, check Mike 45. 36.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really...
Throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Try to punch it in with Smith. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Ito Smith. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call that sack lunch.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. To try again after the sack, Winston.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton. They've got his man complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now, you're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He completes this to Sutton. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Winston on 4th down. And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the 30 on second down, Watson that escapes the sack. Powerful running, and they finally catch up to him and take him down. Jeez, where was he going? A huge loss there. Brandon Graham. He's the one who runs him down, and my goodness, that is just a disastrous loss for this offense. The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be third and forever. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Smith. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Ito Smith, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Texans push further out in front. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for them. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Another try after the first down sack. Winston in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Play action now, Winston. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. They're going to try for it on 4th. Winston stays out there. Winston. And Jameis is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And Thomas has it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And Watson's going to throw it here. Going deep for Hopkins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And give him a gain of 37. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been...
Keep playing. To DeAndre Hopkins. Again. First down, Houston. Tackle. Motion. I 59. 45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. He's tired of me.
On first down, it's Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And they just had another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game, and however it turns out, it turns out.
Watson down to throw. That's complete once again to Hopkins. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
At 24. 4 down. Watch the safety creep. 36.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll try to run this one in. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Keep it up, got it.
On first down, Moss. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One last shot now for Winston. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense